Hey guys, this time I wanted to talk to you about making a tech pack using resources that we take out of CLO3D and bring everything into Adobe Illustrator. This isn't really how to use Adobe Illustrator, but it's how to lay things out, things you might want to communicate to a supplier, and that kind of thing. I hope you find it useful. If you guys do want to learn more about Illustrator, let me know in the comments and I can make some tutorials about that as well. Consider subscribing to Patreon. I just set that up and you guys can get early access to the videos and you can get full file downloads as well. So if you want to access the files I've been working on, you can get those through Patreon. If you need more help and support, go to Discord. It's a lot easier to talk with you guys over on Discord than it is in the comments. But if you like these videos, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And for now, let's get into making some tech packs. So I'm going to start this one off in Illustrator and just show you like the idea of what I want to create here. So there's a number of pages that I want to create to send to my supplier to make this garment. The first one is like we're going to make essentially a sketch to see the front, back, and side of this like on the body. We're going to lay this out in a way that works like a technical drawing or a flat drawing. We're going to take some details from the garment, from the top stitching and things like that that might be useful to communicate to the supplier. We're going to give them the cutting layout so that they know how to cut this out in the best way possible. And then just some annotations on the pattern pieces and the construction so that they know how to finish this off. And in addition, I've added some technical information up here. So some notes on the fabrics that I'm using, the delivery day, comments on the overall construction and finishing, fabric reference up here, and then just some style references and dates so I can keep track of everything. But this is essentially what I want to create for any styles that I'm going to send out to a manufacturer. So I'll show you how I get all this stuff out of Clo and then how I put it together in Illustrator. So if we're looking in Clo, I'll explain how this project's set up and then what I'm going to export from this and why. So I have my garment here. This time I want to look at this like fitted t-shirt and I've laid this pattern out, the seam allowance is added to it, and then there's a pair of shorts in there as well just to have for the look. I also have this set up with a colorway system, so if you go into production at the top and click colorway, um, we can add different colors to this depending on how we want to produce it. And I want to do two versions, a black version and a blue version. But for the blue version, we will still have black top stitching details and a black trim to have some contrast. And then with the black one, it will just be all the details will be black. So the first thing I want to do is export essentially the sketch like I showed you before. So um, this guy up here, and this is relatively easy to do. So let's see. So I'll close out this colorway section now, but just to quickly show you how this works. In the top, you have all your colors for each different thing. So the top stitching, the trouser fabric, the rib fabric, and then the t-shirt fabric. And if I want to change any of these colors, I can just go up here, select the color that I want to change, and then it will highlight the fabric that has that color. And you'll see here that there's two options in each of these fabrics now because there's two colorways. And then I can change the color in here, and then that will update it in my colorway options. I can also click this plus button to add another one, and this can be quite useful, yeah, if you've got more than one option of the thing that you want to create. So I'll close this out for now. We can go back to the other colorway if we want. For now, we're going to go into the schematic render view. So that is this button right here. This will turn everything black and white and make it look a little bit more technical for us to export as a sketch. So the way I do this is pressing F10 on the keyboard, so F10, and it will bring up so if you press the button F10 like on the top row of your keyboard, um, it will bring up a save window, and I have this folder set up already for this style, so I'm going to save it in here, and we can just call this sketch 4 in this case, and then I'm going to click save. So just the name of what we export, and then the file is going to be a PNG, so click save. Why did it do that? Okay, click save, and then it will bring up this window here, and what we want to do is use this snapshot option to take the front, back, and side look of this this garment or this look that we've made. So I'm going to click multi-view, and it will give me this like four-sided layout. I can change the views here, but for me, these four is the ones that I need. I've got this set to A4 as the size of each export that I want. I've got this set to transparent background, and I've got save separate images. So it'll save one layout with all four things together, and then it'll save four separate images along with it. And at this point, you can tweak some of the line thicknesses in the schematic render. So we have a silhouette line, which if you see as I put it up is the black outline around the garments. So I'll leave this about 6 or 7 just to be quite visible. The seam lines I can bring down to a width of 1, and the internal lines I can leave at 1 as well. So to see how you want to, adjust this, you can change the color that you visualize in here as well if you want to change, the basic color of this. You can change color to texture and it will fill it in with the texture color, but for now I just want this black and white, line information. And this brightness as well will take some of the shadowing out. You can also change the shadow mode up here. So this cube on the top will have like 2 kinds of shading, and I'm just going to go for it in this mode without this cube activated. And then we're going to click save. And when that's saved, it will export for us what I have in this folder here. So if I open this, this will be the full layout. So it just gives me a turnaround of the front, side, other side, and then the back. And then I also have a separate image for each of these, files. So that's what we wanted from this first export. The next thing we want to do is lay this out flat. So here I laid it flat so it's easy to see where everything gets stitched together. And this is pretty easy for us to do in CLO3D. So the easiest way to do it, I'll go out of the schematic render mode for a second. I'm just going to delete these shorts because I don't need them right now. And I'm going to delete my avatar. Just double click the avatar and click delete. And then select the garment, the whole thing. If you use the number pad, so like the numbers as well, I think on the top row, you can set the view. So 4 is the side, 6 is the other side, 5 is the top view, 2 is the front, 8 is the back. Like if you imagine where those buttons are placed, it will give you a view. So I'll set this to 4 from the side. I'm gonna spin this around and like lay it horizontal to the floor, and then I'm just gonna drag this down to the ground. And then I'm gonna strengthen it and make sure that piece of shorts is deleted. And then press 5 to look at this from above. So if I simulate this now, it should lay flat. There's some issue with the sewing right here, so let me just take a look. So now I've fixed the issue with the stitching around here, and the garment is strengthened and it's laying flat on the ground. I mean, it's not totally flat because it's got some strength to it. If I were to like unstrengthen this, it'll just get a bit wrinkly and like more difficult to work with, I guess. So I'm going to leave this as it was before, just because it's easier to look at. So we can look at this from above if I press 5 on the keyboard, and then we can go into the schematic render view again as we had before, and we'll just get this kind of technical drawing outline. I want to turn off this grid on the ground so I can easily make a screenshot. So just go to the environment display on the side, go down and click show grid and turn that off. And then because I'm using Windows, I'm going to do Command Shift and S as the shortcut on my keyboard, and just drag and select the thing that I want to make a screenshot of. And then I can paste this directly into Adobe Illustrator. So let me open the file. So I've got this laid out up here. I have these notes like already typed out from before. Like I'll explain as we go along. But I'm just going to press Control and V to paste this, and now my screenshot is in Illustrator. This is basically just the hem depth, the neck trim width, the sleeve hem height, any notes about the cover stitch, and then just some notes on the fabric like I had last time. So that is the shirt laid out flat. And then let's just do the back view. So if we go in color and we press Ctrl and A to select everything, and then we use this spin option here like this, we just spin this around a bit. Oh, that. Just place this more in the center, and then we can make a screenshot of the back as well. So I'm just going to do, again, Windows key Shift and S as the shortcut on Windows. On Mac it'll be different. To just copy that, and then go back into Illustrator and just paste it. That's my front back. And then if you want to be able to like place these over and have some blending, just go to the side view on here and look at the transparency option. If you can't see it, go view, window, transparency down here, and then change the blending of this from normal to darken, and then I can like place these a little bit closer to each other. So that's giving us front and the back view. Just a note on this, like if you lay out something that you want to copy onto all the pages, so like I want this header on all the pages, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to press Control and X to like cut it. So now it's on my clipboard. And then we're going to go edit and then paste on all artboards. And then it will paste this on everything. For some reason, it's all shifted one tile over. I don't know why. So I'm just going to highlight it all and just reposition this like this. So now all my pages have the same like heading information. So when this is with the supplier, no matter what page they're on, they can see this important information about the production or the fabrics or whatever they need. So that's copied onto all the pages. At this point, we could drag in the sketch. So the sketch is, I want the front one side and the back view. I'll just drag these in. And then we can just shrink it down a little bit and then position these on the first page. And then put the back view on the right side. So now we've got like 360 visibility on this garment. Great. The next thing we want to do is export those colorways. So we can go back into Clo. I'm going to select this again. We can just spin this around. And then we'll turn this back onto the regular render view. And this is better because now we can see all the cover stitch details and where and how we want the top stitching to be done. So we can position this again and press F10 on the keyboard one more time and call this 004 colorways and click save. And we want to do a single view. Actually, this may not be the best way because it's doing it from the floor. So let's do it from the top. And then the other views we actually don't need. So this one can be top and this one can be bottom. So that I get like a front view and a back view. It's set to A4 again, which is fine. And then the only thing I want to select this time in addition is to the separate images is save all colorways. So I'll do the multi-view again, transparent background, save separate images, and then save all colorways. And this should export now like a front and a back for me in each color. So let's click save. You see it changed colorway there when it saved that image. And then if I look in my export folder now, I should have, yeah. So I just want the front of the blue one in Illustrator at the front of the gray one. Now with these guys, there's a lot of space like around them. So I can just right and click, choose crop. It'll give you a warning that like cropping is going to change how the image is embedded, which is fine. And then we're just going to crop into this bit so it's easier to work with. Same for this guy. Click OK. I just crop this. Again, you can lay these next to each other and then maybe just zoom in a bit. But now we can see like the two color options that we want to work with. If there's any more specific details that we want to kind of highlight, for example, I want to have this internal tape on the neckline construction. So I'm just gonna copy this from like my other tech file. I'm not getting into like using Adobe Illustrator for like technical drawings in this video, but if you guys want a video about that, let me know and I can do that. So we'll just add this maybe to this page here. We've got like this, how the finish will look on the outside, how it'll look on the inside, and then just a note on how it needs to be done. And then let's see if there's any specific details that we want to make a screenshot of. For example, on the hemline, we've got the cover stitch on the hem and on the seam. So I'm just going to do, again, Windows key Shift and S to just make a screenshot of this part. I can paste that over here. And then let's do one of the sleeve as well, because that's slightly different. So on the sleeve, we've got a regular top stitch in here and not the cover stitch. So I can just screenshot that. And then let's look at the other things that we might want to include. So the next one would be the pattern layout, like where each piece connects to each other. So we can export that directly out of CLO. And then we want to have the garment layout as it should be when the fabric is cut out. So like this is where each piece will be placed on the fabric. I actually have a different file for this. So this one, I can just save it as t-shirt for flat, for example. And then we can open up, there's a warning for compatibility when you have colorways, so just check that in CLO. The one I want to have is this layout, so I will open this CLO file. Just click open, so I have a new scene. And these are all the pattern pieces as they need to be exported. So this is only half of the garment. So this is the back piece, this is the front. So it would be useful for us to kind of lay this out side by side. So this will be the side seam here, and this is the other side seam. So I'm just going to flip this, go to flip, right click, flip, and then choose horizontally. And now I have like my side seams lined up. This is my front panel. I put an F and an F and a B and a B, so we know which one's the front and back. And then this sleeve will be here. And then this sleeve connects like this. So the way that this works is this line here stitches to this shoulder. It's like a raglan sleeve construction, and then this piece goes underneath the armhole. And if I want to export like just this like little layout, I could make a screenshot. Well, let's bring the neck trim over as well. Or I can save this out as a PDF. So I'm just going to go File, Export, and then choose PDF. And then if I go to my pattern folder for number 4, I can just say pattern pieces. Save that. This I'm just going to leave as it is. Just click OK. And then I'll show you what we get from that. So if I go then back to Illustrator, I now have this PDF here. So let's drag this into our layout. It's just going to be the pattern pieces. There we go. So now I can annotate, how this needs to be put together. And then the last page, I'm going to put the cutting layout. So I'll show you how I did this in CLO. Again, this is with the file where I've just got the pattern pieces. It's not simulated, it's just the pieces now that I know everything works. I'm going to go to the UV editor. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to the print layout editor. And if we look at this now, what we want is these two pieces to be on the folded edge. So like when you have a piece that's symmetrical on the front and like from front to back, so like the front is cut down with a fold down the front. My fabric width is set to 70 centimeters, which is half of the width of the fabric. So you imagine it's 140 wide and you fold that in half. You'll have a crease down the middle, and then that's the edge right here. So that's this edge here would be the folded edge. And then those two pieces I just actually need to flip back around. So I'll just select them, flip again horizontally, and then go back to my print editor. And here they are. So like the center front line and the center back line are both down the folded edge, and the other pieces fit nicely in the top part of this as well. And then I put the rib trim in the bottom because that needs to be cut in a separate fabric. And then we can just click this snapshot button here, and we can save out this pattern layout and apply this to our Illustrator document. So I've already got this saved. So I will show you what I've got. So this is 1:1 scale. So this is like how big it would be when it's printed out. Like if you think this is one A4 page, like this is my scaled pattern. I'm just gonna rotate it and then shrink it down a bit to fit it on the page. And then in terms of notes and kind of like annotations, I'll show you what I did on my other file. So here I can fit these screenshot, like I can fit all this on one page, really. We could make one of these colorways a bit smaller because it's not that important. For detail wise, they just know that there's two color options. And then these screenshots I can put here. So in terms of like annotations and whatnot, a lot of this stuff is visible on the pattern. So if I look at the pattern here for this other piece, all the pieces are annotated, and it should be quite clear how to put this together. But I have noted where cover stitching or something should be visible, when I need neck trim, specific finishing on the neckline. So the easiest way to do this is just type this in with the text tool and add some arrows and annotations. When you've got like a good size of like the text face that you want and you know the color and everything, just press hold Alt on the keyboard, and you can duplicate something, and then you can just type something new. So like 2.5 cm. And then in terms of like adding arrows, we can just use this line tool right here. And I'm going to go one line over here. This is invisible for whatever reason. When I draw this, it just kicks out all the colors that are here, but the line is there. So if you click this little black and white icon in the bottom that says default fill and stroke, you'll see your black line comes back. And that's here as well. Then I want to set these to red, so just click one line and shift click the other. Double click this color swatch over here and just change it to red. And then to put arrowheads on, we want to go to the stroke option on the side and click the drop down arrow here. This drop down menu for arrowheads under stroke, and then choose the one you want. If they're pointing in the wrong direction, we can just flip them. So choose the one that goes the wrong way and then just click these little swap arrows here, and it will swap the direction that they get pointed in. So this would be, I would now go through and like add my comments and my annotations, but I just wanted to show you guys how to get all of this stuff out of CLO and how to present it quite nicely in Adobe Illustrator, so that when you've got everything presented, it should be really easy for your manufacturer or supplier or the seamstress or whoever's working on this to produce. So I hope you found that helpful. And if you guys want to know more about Illustrator or technical drawings or any of those things that will help you get stuff made, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do for the next tutorial.